Welcome back to Check Out the Stat by your girl Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby. I know y'all see me in a new studio. I am traveling, but I will be back soon. But I'm liking the setup, so I hope y'all like it too. So today we talking WNBA takeaways. A teacher being investigated for allowing female students to unbraid his hair, and the winner of the Kendrick and Drake beef. But first, I've got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. With Underdog, you can earn money by making picks on your favorite players. You can try the app in California, Texas, and New York, and the list goes on. If you want to play along, go download Underdog Fantasy. Use code STAT. They'll match your first deposit up to $100, and you'll get a special pick. With that being said, let's do our Underdog Fantasy picks of the day. Y'all, playoffs time. This is a crucial game. The Knicks will play the Pacers. Underdog Fantasy has Tyrese Halliburton at 20.5 points. This is a hard one because Halliburton has not been playing how I've been wanting him to play recently. But the Pacers are going to have to stick it up if they want to beat the Knicks. 20 points. Halliburton, I'm counting on you. So I'm going to go higher. If you don't get it, it's wraps. Next, we got Pascal Siakam is at 21.5 points. This is a hard one, too, because it's like, are they both going to drop 20? I don't know. But again, if the Pacers want any chance of winning this thing, he's going to have to get higher than 21.5 points. So I'm going to go higher. And Jalen Brunson, we already know he has been a dog for the Knicks. I think all the Knicks fans should be giving all their praise and gratitude to this man because he has been going crazy. He is the Knicks' backbone. 4.5 rebounds. You know, I think he's going to put up a lot more points, but also with rebounds, I'm going to go higher because I think that this is his opportunity to show y'all he's back, he's him, so then they can go on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Who do I think is going to win the game? I know earlier in the week I said the Pacers, but y'all, this is going to be a real tough one, and I'm not sure. Okay, so now let's get into our Superwoman of the Week. Today's Superwoman is the GOAT, Candace Parker. So she has seemed to do literally everything, and her resume has only gotten more and more fire over the years. So looking at her background, she went to Tennessee where she won 2 NCAA championships. So Candace Parker was the first overall pick in 2008 by the Sparks. She went on to play 16 seasons. She won 3 WNBA championships and was a finals MVP in 2016. And y'all, it doesn't even stop there. So she has 2 MVP awards, Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. She is the only WNBA player to win MVP and Rookie of the Year in the same season back in 2008. That's a crazy stat. Shout out to her. She was also named to 7 WNBA All-Star teams. As we know, I'm not even going to say we know because we're not WNBA players. That is not an easy thing to do. So more recently, she was with the Aces, and she re-signed with them earlier this year. We know the Aces are the champs. They are that team. But recently, she announced that she would be retiring from the game. And it's crazy to think that the OGs are starting to retire. We don't really want to see it happen, and then it happens, and it's like, dang, now she's a part of history. But now we know she is stamped in history. She has made a beautiful mark and left her legacy in the WNBA. So shout out to her because we already know she's always going to be remembered. As of lately, even though we won't see her playing, she has been an analyst on TV, and now she is taking a new role as Adidas' new women's basketball president. That deserves a round of applause because she's been killing it, doing her thing. This is a full circle moment for her because she was the first woman to have a signature shoe with Adidas back in 2010. So she had her first signature shoe, and now she's back operating things. So in her new role, she said, quote, she'll be defining a clear and impactful direction with the focus on access, increased representation, and breaking down barriers on a global scale and putting more of a recognition on women's sports. And as we know, this time more than ever, women's sports is on a huge pedestal. So it's great to see her in that new position and then all the waves that women's sports, especially the WNBA, is making right now as we speak. So before we go to break real quick, I'm going to talk about my key takeaways from the WNBA this week. So my first takeaway, the rookies are trying their best, okay? They have all this talk going from college to the league that they were going to struggle, that the big leagues is a different, thing to kind of accomplish and take over. They've been doing their thing, okay? I'm not going to say that they've been struggling because I don't like the word struggle. I just think that they've been putting their best foot forward and they haven't backed down. So if you all looked at Caitlin Clark's first WNBA debut, the stat that everybody's trying to run with is that she had 10 turnovers. Y'all, I know 10 turnovers is bad, okay? Nobody wants that. I think she's also the first rookie to debut with that many turnovers, and that's the stat line that we're running with. But y'all are forgetting that she dropped a 20-piece. She dropped a 20-piece in the WNBA for her first game. She scored the most points on the Fever out of everybody on her team and everybody on the other team. What rookie do you know is doing that? Nobody. So y'all must give her flowers. This is her first game out and she has a lot of time to build. Y'all always want to focus on the negative. I'm not focused on the negative because Caitlin Clark is literally the GOAT. And if you look at the game, that girl was getting beat up. It's not like they were like, oh, Caitlin Clark, welcome to the league. We're going to be real nice. They didn't do that. They was beating her up. Caitlin Clark was literally getting thrown around like a rag doll, but she still managed to drop 20. And I promise you from here on out, she's going to drop more than 20. She's great on the perimeter. She's shooting her threes. She's getting her shot in. In the paint, she's going to struggle a little bit because they're trying to say, girl, back up. Don't be down here. And she's going to learn. But she has time to learn. So shout out to her because as we see, she's been a great contributor to her team, being the rookie who just got there. Now, on the other side of it, the vets did not come to play. The Liberty and the Fever just had a recent game. The Liberty whooped the Fever's ass. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. We know that the Liberty is a great team. You know, they were also the champs at one point. Not last year because the Aces had it, but they had their thing going on. Breanna Stewart makes it look easy. She had 31 points and 10 rebounds. Sabrina Ionescu had 14.7 rebounds. They did their thing. And then the Aces definitely breezed by the Phoenix Mercury. A'ja Wilson, she's my GOAT. She dropped a 30-piece. Again, who you know is dropping a 30-piece? A'ja Wilson. So shout out to her. Then my last takeaway is I think we've seen a huge takeover that the league is having just on the general public. I have never seen this much WNBA coverage in my life. We saw recently the LA Sparks had their season opener. Kim Kardashian sitting at the game courtside with her daughters Northwest next to her. They talking about Kim Kardashian, but my girl Jemele Hill was right next to her. And then they made sure to give Northwest her own jersey, her own shoe after the game. It's just a lot of coverage that I'm seeing. We know that now that there's a Skims WNBA collaboration. I've seen NBA doing collab posts with WNBA on Instagram. I've just seen a lot more outward support, which I think is great for these women. Also, shout out Lotto. She went to the game and she specifically said, look, I don't know much about basketball, but I'm here to support Angel Reese. And that's what we wanted to see, this translate from NCAA sports to the WNBA. And that is exactly what's happening. Only thing that they need to work on, which we'll see, you can't have big playoff games like the Knicks versus Pacers at the same time because people are trying to watch both and we can't watch both. So once that coverage is just sole coverage on the league, I think that they'll have even more viewership. And then my last issue that they need to fix. We were all super excited about the private charter jets that the women on the WNBA would be able to fly in. I'm sitting here thinking that every team is getting that private jet. But we found out that it was just the Fever and the Minnesota Lynx. So shout out to Caitlin Clark because, again, with her coverage, we know that she is one of the main reasons why we are seeing all these changes being made to the league. But I feel like it's still not fair to give that luxury to two teams and not the rest of them. I don't think that everybody should be flying commercial, especially Angel Reese. She made a post about it on her Instagram saying that she hopes that this is the last time she'll get to fly commercial. And now most of the comments were saying that this is a safety issue, which I agree it is. At this point, if you don't know who Angel Reese is, you're really lacking because you should. She doesn't need to be flying commercial on the way to a game. She's trying to lock in, get in that zone, get in that mood. All these people coming up to her. I don't know who she's sitting next to. It's just too much to deal with. So hopefully they'll roll out them private charter planes for the rest of them because it's deserved. And hopefully we'll see it soon. But those are my key takeaways from the WNBA this week. But with that being said, things are off to a great start. A really good start. But we're going to go to break. And when we return, we will discuss a teacher who is in hot water. Don't go anywhere.
Pink horsepower. She called this thing about toxic.
What's happening, baby? Baby, what's happening?
Why you walking like that?
That's how I walk.
And then like you come on breathing on me like that.
I fucking breathe to live.
And like you used to be dark skinned and now you act like hella light skinned.
Are you fucking blind? I'm dark skinned. What the fuck?
And then like look at your beard.
What the fuck is
Your
wrong with
beard
my
looks
beard?
stupid.
What the fuck are you talking about?
No, I don't even like it. The way you breathe in all of that.
Has this ever happened to you? Your girl seems to be mad, angry, upset. She's frustrated. It's only one way to handle that. Pink horsepower.
No,
But your breath is really refreshing.
No.
I'm just trying to give you a massage. Plus, have I told you how good your beard looks lately? It looks so good.
No.
It looks-
PHP. It works every time.
Wait, where you going?
Welcome back. So now we're finna get into Ain't No Way. But before we get into Ain't No Way, y'all are gonna hear two voices. I have two of my very close friends with me. We got Cassius and Kiana.
What up?
So they are going to give some of their input on some of these subjects because some of these subjects are crazy, and I'm not gonna debate it myself. So if y'all hear a voice, there you have it. So Cash
Hi, family. How you doing?
and Kiana.
What it do, y'all?
Okay, so we gotta get into Ain't No Way because ain't no way this teacher is letting his middle school students unbraid his hair in the classroom and then posting a TikTok video about it. Okay, so let me give y'all the details. I would definitely want to hear y'all's thoughts too, but I got to give them the details. Got to let y'all see the video, then we can discuss. So a Maryland teacher is under investigation for allowing his students in his classroom to unbraid his hair. It's about a group of 5 female students. This is a male teacher. He is sitting in the chair, and the video has about 7 million views right now. So let's roll the clip.
Let's go ahead and stir the pot a little, shall we? Last Friday, 10 minutes before dismissal time, I decided to live stream my students helping me take my hair out. There was quite the discourse in the chat, which had people saying this was inappropriate and other people saying this was completely fine. There was nothing wrong with what I was doing, and people were just making it weird. So of course I had to bring this issue to the big stage. I would like to represent myself in this case, Your Honor, if I may. Number one, for a little context, I had a hair appointment immediately after school and I needed my hair taken out beforehand. I would have taken it out the night before, but that Friday we had a camera crew coming in to shoot a promotional video and I was one of the ones being interviewed. So I had to look presentable, so I didn't take my hair out. I didn't have the time to do it all myself because it would have taken me forever. So naturally I asked about 4 or 5 of my over 100 best friends to assist me.
Okay, so there's a lot of mixed reviews on this video right here. So some people are arguing that he's more of a father than most. And then some people said that the video is just too close and personal. So before I give my thoughts, y'all seen the video?
Yep.
Kiana has seen the video. What did you think?
Not my kid.
Not your kid.
Not my kid.
Not her kid.
Not today, not the next.
Not today and not the next. Okay, so for me, right? The situations got weirder as I heard the explanation. So the teacher has not publicly spoken out to media outlets or anything yet, but he was trying to justify saying that, okay, I would pick students that finish their work. That's my first problem right there. Why is this the reward to unbraid your hair? That's weird to me because when you fixate, if you finish your work and you finish your test, then you can come over here up in my space and unbraid my hair. That's the first problem that I have. Second problem that I have is as a grown man, right? Why are you calling these little girls your besties?
Texting them.
Texting them, hey
Hello?
bestie.
That's a little odd.
That's
You
a
have
bit
their
much.
direct phone number. These are not your besties. They are not your friends. They are not your age. Let's
Right,
get that
right,
straight.
right.
None of the 3.
Right.
3 out of the 3. He's 0-3. We don't like those records. It's crazy. Okay? He said, Cash, how you feeling?
A minor.
And we'll get into that too. So he said that he also allowed students to paint his nails because one of his students had aspirations to be a nail tech. So his mom was like, oh yeah, she want to be a nail tech. You know, he said, all right, paint my nails.
He just needs to get
I feel
pampered.
like I need more context. Like,
That
There
is
is
the
no
context.
more- that's
There
the
is
tweet.
no more context.
That's the issue.
problem.
oh.
This is not the classroom for that. This is not cosmetology school. You are the science teacher. You must know your place. And not only that, you're teaching at a public school. Rules and regulations, I know that's not in the rules and regulations, and I know that's not in the school order. You should not be doing stuff like that. Point blank, period. It's inappropriate. Obviously, I don't have children right now. If I had children, I'm going to teach them. There is a line, and certain lines cannot be crossed, and that is one of them. You do not go to school seeking a father figure. You can have mentors. You can have people that you look up to. That's not what school is for, because that means you got stuff to handle outside the classroom, and you ain't finna handle it here, and you ain't finna handle it with my kids.
And
Let's
I
just
think
start with there.
The other thing was that it seems innocent on the surface. Like, okay, it's not sexual, it's platonic, but you're kind of establishing that relationship where that student can touch you or be in your personal space in a non-academic manner. Like,
Right.
it's not to lean over and correct my work. I'm handling your hands, I'm in your hair. Like, that's odd, and that needs to be clipped.
She's spitting, because that's the truth. Like, there's just certain things, and I don't know who needed to tell you. Like, I don't know what you go through to be a teacher, but I don't think they teach you that. I don't think they teach you that. Okay?
Just to play the devil's advocate, again, I havenn't seen the video, so
Okay.
I have no context.
Yeah.
But I will say, you know, one of the things I think that is interesting about some teachers, especially at, how old are the kids here?
Middle school.
Middle school. I remember when I was in 6th grade, you know, and again, I didn't see her as a motherly figure, but, you know, a really, one of the most memorable teachers I had was a woman who went above and beyond to try to kind of gain a personal relationship with the kids. Again, I'm a man, so it's a little different, the relationship. But I wonder maybe if that's what he's going for too.
And I think even a relationship is fine, okay? If you got things that you want to talk about, discuss, cool. But there's still a protocol, all right? If we're going to discuss certain things or if there's something that's concerning, somebody needs to be overseeing it. Somebody needs to be watching it. At the end of the day, you have to know your place. I'm a male teacher. I'm a man. These are young girls.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you thought was innocent or not, what makes it weirder is the fact that, okay, then along the line, you're like, you know what? I got a TikTok. We trying to go viral. You had children and their parents sign media release forms for your TikTok. So now you profiting off of them? That's weird. Like, you crossed the line.
But there are other successful teachers doing it, like the one who talks about Coco Jones.
Also
and, like, his
different,
relationship.
though.
Yeah, I'm saying there's a healthy way to
Yes.
do it. Like, he's not crossing a line. He's showing his relationship and mentor roles through the way that he speaks to his students,
Right.
not by getting pampered and getting his hair
Right.
taken out.
And emphasis on getting pampered, too, because it's not like y'all are just like.
These are free services they're performing.
Yeah, it's not like we're just like, let's just talk over lunch about your day and like I got a new puppy. Da, 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 da. It's like, you painted my nails. You gonna braid my
Take
hair.
these braids out.
That's something that your girl need to be doing, not your students. Like, that's
I need
not.
to see this video.
Next thing you know is bring me a plate.
Yeah, cook me a plate. What's your mama cook?
Best
What's your mama
chef
cook? Bring me a
wins.
plate. Like, no, we're not doing
Plate for
that.
extra credit.
We're not doing that. Play for extra credit is crazy. And see, this is just what we know. That's why there's an investigation. We don't even know what else is happening in between. So,
We
yeah,
laughing, but meanwhile,
we don't know. It's
they
under
gonna drop the
investigation.
report.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Oh, it's an investigation.
It's an
Yeah.
investigation right now. So this is my last note before we move on, right? My main thing is, right, so we've seen Quiet on Set. And if you haven't seen Quiet on Set, it's basically with these Nickelodeon stars speaking out against Dan Schneider, who's the producer, and a lot of things that were happening on set that wasn't brought to light until years after, right? You don't want to wait until a situation gets too weird to address it, because now there's people who want to speak out, who don't want to speak out. Like, there's a lot of things in between that get really concerning. And that's the point that I'm making, that when you're in a role, there's just a certain line that you should not be crossing. And once, students feel like they can touch, like even touching, like once students feel like they can touch you or you feel comfortable allowing them to touch you, I don't ever want it to cross that line and get to that next level, which is, it could have been to that next level. I don't know. This is all, hypothetically speaking. I don't know the man. I don't know the exact situation while it's being investigated. But what I do know is what I've seen from the videos and what he said after. We don't got time for none of that mess there and after. These are young kids. Regardless of what you may think, young kids are not adults to make certain decisions. And it's just inappropriate. Okay? Like, and the parents speaking up saying, he's just na-na-na-na-na-na. I can't tell people how to parent. But some of y'all be the ones when it gets too late and then you regret things that happen. And we don't want that situation for no child. So it's just being careful, understanding the situation, boundaries that are set and being placed. Because honestly, if it wasn't that big of a deal, like, it would not be investigated. And the fact that most of the comments are uproars, like, clearly something there is wrong.
I hope that it was just a misunderstanding and he meant nothing by it.
And we're hoping.
And amen to that.
And we're hoping. And this is why, if you ever want to tell your truth, check out the stat on Instagram. Because we can talk about it. We can talk about it. Okay, and so now, last segment of the day, y'all know me. Gotta get into Tell Me What's Up, because the stats wouldn't be the stats without questions and opinions from you all. There's a lot of things y'all want me to talk about. But there's one thing in particular I'm super excited to talk about. And we gotta talk about this winner of the Kendrick Lamar and Aubrey Graham beef. I told y'all Kendrick was finna be winning this beef. The switch from like my superwoman to this, like, ugh, I'm just so excited because Kendrick is the winner. But before I go, who do y'all think is the winner?
Ladies first.
Kiana.
OVO, thank you.
What does that mean?
That means K Dot. What?
Okay.
Cash, who do you think is the winner?
I'm gonna have to be very even on this, just because I don't feel like there's a winner. Let me tell you why I don't think there's a winner. Because at the end of the day, the battle was about who is the better rapper, and it became at the end of the day who could become more disrespectful. And I love both artists. I'm from LA, so I love K Dot, and I also love Drake just because it's Drake. So I
Drake?
Is
the braids?
So I don't know. I'm glad they both responded and went back and forth, but.
Okay, I'm going to push back, Cash. Who do you think won the battle? Every battle has a winner.
But it wasn't a battle about bars. It was a battle about who got.
It was a battle. So who?
And I'm gonna bring a Mace quote. Mace said, "To be king, you got to go through war." And somebody wins, or they die.
Crazy.
And I think there is a winner.
Please.
So he's going neutral. You're going King Kung Fu Kenny.
Hella.
I'm going K-Dot. Okay, so let's go back into the history, right? We know it started with Lamar dissing Drake on Like That with Metro Boomin and Future. That's when it first started. Drake then released Push Ups. Then there's a tailor-made freestyle. Then Kendrick dropped Euphoria. I understand, like, I can be unbiased. I can see how people were like, I'm not really grooving to Euphoria because it's not really like that type of groove, you know? Then there was 616 in LA. Kendrick said, all right, cool, y'all didn't like that. I got another. Okay, cool. After he dropped that other, Drake launched Family Matters. I'm not going to be biased, okay? Family Matters was fire, okay? I like the scenic music video thing that he did. A lot of the things that he addressed, you know. We're not going to talk into specifics because this is a family-friendly show. But just know, go listen to Family Matters on your own. Because I made my parents listen to both. I made my parents sit and listen to Family Matters, and I had them sit and listen to Meet the Grams. And let's get into Meet the Grams. Meet the Grams was insane. Meet the Grams was a masterpiece. I've never seen music carried out like that, where you address each family member. And the thing that I love about how Kendrick did it was he did it so slick, because he ain't diss anybody directly. That's the thing about Drake. Drake dissed, you know, his wife, like things directly. Kendrick basically said, I want you to be a better man than your father was. Like, that's not a diss at his son, but the way addressing that is like, shh, that was crazy. Okay? So then there was Meet the Grams. And then they're like, all right, boo-hoo, we don't really like Meet the Grams, like, da-da-da-da, it was sinister, da-da-da. That was the point. I don't like it, cool. Not Like Us was insane. Me and Kiana have been hearing that since we've been out in LA. If you would like to speak about the energy that's in the room when you hear Not Like Us at a function and your thoughts.
I am not from the West Side, but boy, do I feel injuvenated with the West Coast Californian vibes every time that song blasts through the speakers. I'm dang near turning to Tupac.
They not like us. They not
Like
like us.
us. Ha,
Fan,
ha.
They not like us.
Like, it's just so turned. I feel like it's like a community song where, regardless whose side you're on, it's just a bop of the summer. You really have a bombshell time when that song comes on. The beat, the energy, everybody's vibes. It's just so much fun.
Facts.
10 out of 10.
Facts. I agree. Cause just, and then all the song is just so quotable. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, and like, let me say, like, I love Drake's music. Like, Drake, for our generation, he's there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the actual like meanings of everything. It makes you just look at things differently. And I love Drake's music, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I be singing Ovi Ho.
As you
Like,
should.
it sticks.
Good music is good music.
It's crazy. Okay. And so then Drake had his diss, The Heart Part 6.
Wow. What'd you think of the tailor-made freestyle and that he put out before with
That's
the AI
the thing.
Tupac?
With what Kendrick dropped, we didn't even worry about it.
So you think all of that gets washed away?
We ain't
Everything
even worried
before?
about it.
Interesting.
I'm not gonna lie.
Certain
And
things
that's
rise
what's
to
the thing.
surface.
When
Certain things
things-
sink.
I feel like it got taken down. I feel like that was a part of. But yeah, Kendrick definitely Kendrick did his thing.
He did.
When Not Like Us came out,
Come closer to Mike.
when Not Like Us came out, I told my uncle, I was really, after the Pusha T stuff, I was really pulling for Drake. But then I heard Not Like Us, and I'm like, wow, this is my city. Like, how am I not going to dance to this? And
I'm a Drake fan. Like, I was
Huge.
way more familiar with Drake's discography, way more than Kendrick's. And so this battle, not only did it get me excited about music and like hip hop and everything like that, but like it caused me to go through Kendrick's old songs and
Facts.
see what I've been missing out on. Like, his lyricism is unreal, and there's so much good music there that I feel like kind of rejuvenized something in me where now I respect both of them, and I can acknowledge that Kendrick won the battle and that they're both really good artists, and I love both of their music. At the end of the day, I'm just happy with fire music. So
Great take. And I love Drake's music again, but I love Kendrick's music more. I've been saying it from the jump. Kendrick is one of my favorite artists ever. I've never missed a tour, never missed a concert. Like, and people are like, you listen to Kendrick Lamar? Yes. Yeah. Like his discography, especially if you're new, and I love it because I don't like the narrative that people were trying to act like Kendrick was irrelevant before. Y'all just weren't tapped in. And I understand because the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice is not for everybody. Okay. You got to get into it. But when you really listen to the words, they laughing at me. But like, y'all, like if I was the president, I paid my mama's rent, free my homies and that. Like, he has so many good songs. Y'all really just got to tap in. But that is it for today's episode. Cash and Kiana, thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us, Miss Wilson. We
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank you.
And I know people in the comments, y'all gonna see like this setup for me, the comfortability and like my friends being here, like y'all are gonna see more of me, more of my personality. So I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. If y'all like it, we're gonna try to do more things like this. But that is it for today's episode. Y'all can # check out the stats so we can continue the discussion next week, and maybe your question or take will be featured. Thanks for hanging out with me and checking out the stats. I'll see y'all next week.